Okay, we are live and we are not sure what's going on with a press conference, possibly from Fulton County today. Uh, Welcome to Peaches and Bananas live presser watch party or live watch party. Tulsi Gabbard, potentially a Tulsi Gabbard press conference. We didn't talk at all but last night about Tulsi Gabbard actually being there. It was after we ended our live stream where I ran across some X posts where they'd captured some photos of her, and we didn't even mention that last night. So that was kept me in bed, kept me awake in bed, reading more posts, just not being able to put the phone down, not even realize Tulsi Gabbard was there, which changes the level of this. It puts it a whole nother level of importance on this, if you ask me, since she's the DNI, the head of the DNI. Is that his secretary? Is that what is that? The secretary of the DNI, the director?
Director.
I guess the director. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, dude. So dude's in the call. Nice hat.
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind, really, and kind of been nonstop in keeping up with all that's coming out from Fulton County. And
yeah, I'm going to continue to look for the live press conference while you talk, and maybe you can share your screen and show us some of these links that you've been sending to me this morning.
Okay, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Well, I mean, this is a live, dude. I mean, you sent me a bunch of links this morning. Said here's the AJC writer. You said he's got a ton of stuff. So yeah, I mean, last night we didn't even talk about Tulsi Gabbard being there. There's pictures of her there that we didn't show. So maybe if some of that stuff is accessible to you, I think I sent you a link, right? Did I send you a link to a Tulsi Gabbard thing last night? On Signal?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, because like there's been all sorts of reactions. So yesterday we had reactions from Garland and Jason Frazier and David Kate, and there was Sally Grubbs and Jen Johnston on the scene, and they've been reacting to Fulton County, to the sudden visit from the feds at the Fulton County Elections Hub to retrieve the 2020 election records, and the fact that even though they're state election board members, they were not allowed to go in. Others were. So the Fulton County Board of Elections chair and Fulton County commissioners were able to go in, but it seems like the county people were allowed in, but the state election board was not, and the state wasn't. So it just kind of seems like while they do have a lawsuit, the state election board was suing the Fulton County for those records, and there is that contention, but it's kind of the county asserting itself against oversight. And let's see what I can pull up here. So thank you for joining us. This is an impromptu live because there were rumors of a press conference. I have not seen a formal announcement, just a rumor, and we're looking for it because in that rumor it was mentioned that Tulsi might be there.
Yeah, and if there's no press conference, it's all right. There's plenty of stuff about Tulsi that's now resurfacing, and some of her very bold comments. Recall that Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat representative in the House of Representatives, right?
Yeah, and she was kind of a rogue in that sense. So she was brave to break from the what the rest of the party was saying. So she was brave to think on her own. So, for example, in President Trump's impeachment, where all the Democrats kind of fell in line and voted together, she voted present. And so, yeah, Tulsi's definitely always had a mind of her own. She's kept a constitutional sense and her duty to country as a former. Uh, I don't know which branch of the military service she was in, but she she's kept that. And did you find yet? I was going to show a video of reactions from different legislators, but there you go. You've got Tulsi's social media.
Yeah, I mean, just something to throw up here while we're looking to find. I mean, we got, I guess, 2 people watching. Is that you and me?
Um,
Hey, 2 people watching. Yeah, throw us a comment just so we know that you're like live people out there. You're not
well,
a
we can
bot.
see your comments, and we can try to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, so we're in the process of trying to. This may not be a very long watch party, but we're in the process of trying some. I don't know if she have made a notice on her on her DNI if she was giving a press conference.
I don't know,
There's
but
nothing about this on here. Okay,
I do have a post to share.
go for it.
Um,
Do you want to
and
send me the link and have me share it since I'm already here?
oh, okay.
Just send it on Signal.
Okay. Okay. So,
Okay, here's the post. Okay, now this is from last night, right?
yeah, it's a photo from last night, and
Get that zoomed in a little bit. Okay.
yeah.
You had the post to share. Did you want to talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, well, what I've got is what the post says that, and maybe we can hear that video since it's a short one from Fox News. So,
FBI agents are going through materials found today during a search of the Fulton County, Georgia election office. That search is said to be related to the 2020 election. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. FBI agents are still on site at the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections. The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia, and specifically Fulton County, a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election. Shortly after that election, Trump spoke to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and said he needed 11,780 votes to win the state. At the time, Raffensperger said he felt pressure from Trump and denied any widespread election fraud. He continues to deny it to this day. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis brought state criminal charges against then former President Trump and others in 2023 for conspiracy to overturn the election. But her prosecution, Brett, was eventually derailed completely after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. Now, Brett, last month, the Justice Department sued Fulton County, Georgia, seeking access to 2020 voting records after state officials allegedly failed to respond to a subpoena. Fox News has learned the head of the FBI's Atlanta field office was recently forced out in recent days, but it's unclear, Brett, if this is all related.
It's unclear, Brett. Like, it's unclear if we're going to have a Tulsi Gabbard press conference this morning because the little rumor, the Signal rumor mill chat started heating up this morning. So we didn't know. So we just jumped on here just in case. Sorry if you think the title's misleading. It probably should have said potential presser. but we wanted to be able to get in here and do a watch party because we thought it'd be fun. Basically, that's why we do a lot of the things we do, because we think it's fun. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And Viking Dude makes it fun because oftentimes when he'll surprise you with a jingle and a song that you will never get off of your head ever again. I still have the Katusa song in my head when I take a shower.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was whatever press story. So yeah, I mean, just keep an eye out there on your chats for the Tulsi Gabbard press conference, which at this point it's like it could happen later, it could not happen at all. But I will say that last night I'm kind of bummed we didn't talk about that. I guess I didn't even know she was there, but there were some posts saying, Tulsi Gabbard's been spotted here. And I read later on, here's the deal. I mean, as the director of the DNI and some of the things she said in the past, and people are speculating about the Venezuela. Oh boy, here we go. I'm echoing again.
Okay, well, the echo cancellation needs to go on, so that will affect my sound.
Well, you're not using the good microphone again.
I know I didn't have. I'm going to switch to it.
Yeah. So anyway, I've lost my train of thought. That's what echoing does. It makes you kind of completely forget what you were talking about. But she, in the past, I was seeing Tulsi Gabbard in the past. She has, well, you gave us a little background. She's parted ways with, I guess, the Democrat company line, so to speak. I mean, she's a patriot. She seems to be a patriot. I would have no problem voting for Tulsi Gabbard. And so, because I think she's a patriot. But anyway, she, the Venezuelan raid, the extraction of Maduro. People are drawing connections to that in the X posts. So, people smarter than I guess people that I follow. But yeah, they're just making conversation here while we keep an eye out. There's probably is a press conference going, and we just don't know where to look for it.
Yeah, or there isn't. I did see that President Trump has a cabinet meeting, and that is going live. So maybe that might have been the confusion, that there's a cabinet meeting going live at 10, and people assume that it was a press conference and just kind of drew information. I mean, we're still in the fog. Oh, what's that, Viking Dude? Oh, that was yesterday?
15 hours ago.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the fog. We didn't get a heads up of this. So Fox News broke the story, and people started contacting everybody else that they knew, and I think that the first one on site, or the first ones, might have been Sally Grubbs and Jason Frazier. So because Sally called Jan Johnston, since she's the vice chair of the state election board, and picked her up and tried to go into the warehouse, and were not allowed in. They witnessed other Fulton County election officials. Well, the elections officials would be there already. They work there, but the commissioners and other elected officials going in, and we have some of their reactions that I was sending to you, Viking. Some of those.
Okay. Yeah, I got them. So we'll play this real quick from Tulsi Gabbard, and
Great.
It's
a short
part about all this is it's not even people who we vote for.
Slow.
When you look at what happened when President Biden had that infamous debate with President Trump, it exposed the reality that many of us have known for a long time, which is that President Biden has not been the guy calling the shots. He has not been the guy making the decisions, nor has it been Kamala Harris, for that matter, nor will it be if she is elected president. It is this cabal of, you know, the Democrat elite, the woke warmongers, made up of the likes of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and, you know, Tony Blinken and Jake Sullivan and, you know, people who are in the military industrial complex, people who profit from us being in a constant state of war. It is those in the administrative state, in the national security state, who derive more authorities and ability to take away our liberty when we are in a heightened state of crisis or war. It is their friends and billionaires and people in media who all derive their power from being able to have a figurehead that essentially they can control.
That's some deep. Sorry, that is some deep stuff right there. So, yeah, I got to deal with a dog issue. I guess you took yourself off. So, can you come back?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out my microphone situation to make the audio a little bit better. Yeah, so we have, I guess, some news pieces of reactions from other legislators, and I figure that maybe I can share that and just hear what everyone else is saying. Actually, can I do it? Yeah. Share screen. And this is Greg Bluestein. He is with the AJC, and he has images of the raid. And here's a picture of boxes in their vehicle. And so what are some things that he's saying? Well, that is someone's opinion. I'm trying to get opinions of some of the officials. And here he is quoting Democratic leaders as calling this a sore loser's crusade, which is not. This is a criminal investigation, because we've gathered so much. Oh, I forgot to share. I'm sorry. We have all this evidence that we've gathered over the years of ballot image tampering, and ballot images are important because that's a receipt that the voting machines keep of everybody's ballots. And if those receipts are tampered with, well, that just goes to tell you, goes to show. Okay, yeah, multitasking fail. I can't talk to you and pull this up at the same time. I just wanted to blow this up, and this is Fulton County Commissioner Chair Rob Pitts saying that he's confident that the ballots were safe and secure in the county facility, and he's worried what's going to happen next now that they're under the DOJ's custody. And that goes back to a lot of concern that we've had over the years, because the warehouse where the Fulton County ballots were kept was broken into initially, and the GBI looked through the ballots, and they've been sitting there for a long time. It's been 5 years. So this is a share of some officials going into the office, or some people, I guess, or it looks like they might be agents dressed all in black. And I wanted to find where he shared some some video reactions of. So this is a Fulton County Commissioner Mo Ivory, and we can hear her side, her perspective here.
We are going
Oops.
to, if there's a question of are we going to take all legal action to make sure that, this, what I consider to be an assault on voters. This is an assault on your vote. So I think that, Marvin is an attorney, I'm an attorney. We are all trying to figure out what to do about this. But what we know is that does not even matter. We know in America right now, it does not even matter if what you are saying is the right thing. If our president wants to bring in the forces, he will, and he has. And so it's in Fulton County now. So we have to protect. You need to go to your voter page, make sure that you are still registered to vote. You need to check every week. You need to be unafraid of these scare tactics, and you need to go out there and vote. Because what they're mostly afraid of is that you will vote them out. That is what they are afraid of. Let me just say that.
So that's really interesting that she calls it an assault on your vote. The only thing there that she says that I agree with is for people to check their voter registration. Because if you've moved, you want to check that your address is current so that you get to vote for the people representing you so that you get the right ballot. And if you have recently deceased loved ones, you want to check that they're not registered anymore, because a lot of these changes aren't done automatically. So, but you as a relative could look up, you need to submit the birthday and the county of the registration that you're looking for, and make sure that they're not there. If you do find that they're still registered to vote and they've deceased, you can contact the county and let them know that they need to be removed. So that part she's right about. You want to stay on top of your voter registration, not just assume that because you've gone to the DMV and gotten your driver's license updated that your voter registration has been updated too.
Right.
But
Yeah, I mean, sounds like, yeah, that part, sounds like she's watching Peaches and Bananas, and is maybe some of the other election integrity podcasts out there, and it's like passing on some good advice, because that's what we say too. But I don't understand the connection she's making to how they're trying to steal your vote by
yeah,
taking custody of ballots from 2020.
no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
Help me with the connection she's trying to make there.
Well, I don't know if I've done my stretches this morning, Viking, to make that sort of level of gymnastics here, because
That is some mental gymnastics for sure.
I don't know where you can describe it as an assault on democracy. I had some pictures of the FBI packing the ballots, and somehow when I changed my screen over, it didn't keep what I wanted to show you. It was shoot, maybe I have the wrong screen up. Yeah, I do. Share this tab. I have many tabs open and got confused about which one I'm sharing.
Is your browser tab okay? So you're doing the split screen thing, right? That's why it's so narrow.
Right now
Vertically narrow.
Yeah, I switched over from one tab to another because
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to understand why, like, my screen fills more of the space vertically, and yours is always like a narrow strip. Is that from the? I mean, it has to do with the size of your browser window. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Is it
not
because?
making it
Yeah, it's not a layout thing, dude. I'm just asking, is it because you have the thing where Brave is doing a split screen, like you've got you in the upper, StreamYard in the upper and X in the lower when you're monitoring?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing a split screen right now. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I mean, just having a conversation, even though we're live. Okay, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy that they're calling this an assault and trying to say that Trump is some sort of dictator looking for a way to steal people's voice. Because the truth is that there's all these cases and evidence that we've tried, and I'll say we because I helped Garland with his cases, and I help Garland with anything that he asked me to, and so there's been all this evidence of the problems with the voting system and the problem with the voting record and complaints to the state election board that have been done over the last 5 years that feel for the most part like they've fallen on deaf ears, and all these cases that never even got assigned to a judge. So some of President Trump's election challenges early on didn't get heard by a judge at all. They just were allowed to gather dust till they pretty much ran out of time. Not pretty much, till they did run out of time. So it's wild to hear that perspective or hear that opinion.
Fox News seems to be the preferred, I guess. Or the preferred. What's the word I'm looking for? The preferred Ministry of Truth selected news outlet for this administration. So I'm just searching Fox News to see if there's any mention of a press conference.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing so I can search and pull up something else interesting. And
well, you can
not make
search if you can dude, you can hop to another tab and it's not going to change what's on the screen. It won't ever change until you say share this tab. So
okay.
You can multitask like that with Brave browser.
Okay.
While you're sharing one tab, you can be searching in another one.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what else did we forget to talk about last night? So you gave me some links here, and State Senator Josh McLaurin on FBI raid at Fulton County Election Office. Did you want me to share that?
Yeah, I figured that we could share all sorts of reactions, like hear everybody and
okay. Let me throw that up on the stage here. I don't like the default that it goes to, but yeah, so let's go full screen to this and play this.
Yeah, well, obviously, Fulton County officials and the state delegation, which I'm a part of, were extremely alarmed by this. I have to stress what I know so far is unconfirmed rumors from officials talking to each other, but what we've heard...
Okay, you've seen this already, right? You've seen this already, right, dude?
I think so. It's a blur.
Okay, so we don't know if it's a peach or a banana.
Oh, this is a banana.
Okay, well, we'll get this going at the same time. All right, yeah. Here we go.
Is that the main FBI office, not the local FBI office, has been dispatched here to try to collect 2020 ballots. Again, ballots from not the last presidential election, but the one before that. And famously, Donald Trump has made Fulton County the object of his ire throughout the country. It's made Fulton County, national news for all the wrong reasons, because he has pushed these baseless conspiracy theories that the election was somehow, quote, stolen, and that Georgia was the epicenter of this. And unfortunately, Fulton County officials have paid the price. If we recall that there were county election workers who were harassed, who had to bring defamation lawsuits, who were under physical threats, needed security because of the lies and conspiracy theories that Donald Trump has been pushing. And here we are, it's January 2026, and now Donald Trump is dispatching FBI officials from Maine FBI, I guess in DC, to try to disrupt county election administration here in Georgia. Now, obviously, they have a warrant signed. We don't know what's in the warrant. We know that a magistrate judge approved it. It's very possible, and we need to stress this, that the FBI lied in their warrant to try to get these ballots or use some small irregularity to justify a wholesale raid. All I can say about that is you have federal judges all throughout the country who have chastised the DOJ and federal agencies for lying to courts. So this could be the very same thing. Obviously, we don't know enough yet, but this is extremely alarming. I think Fulton County and Georgia in general are tired of being the target of Donald Trump's narcissism. That's all this is about, and he's dispatching federal officials at the highest levels of government. Election day. Yeah, well, obviously, Fulton County officials.
Okay, it's replaying now.
Well,
like
obviously,
you do.
Fulton County officials.
So I'm gonna mute the. Okay, you've got it. Yeah. So this one is a little bit. Where has he been? Because he's ignoring that it's not a small matter that, like we covered last night, Joe Rossi came across a communication where Fulton County officials admitted inserting over 6,000 ballots into the audit of the that was done in 2020 of the presidential election. So 6,000 ballots, it's not a small thing when the margin for the whole election was 11,000, and we're talking about just one county. And there's the subpoena from the state election board that was issued last year, over a year ago. I think it was in September or so, in the fall that they issued it. I don't know if it was September, but definitely in the fall that they issued that subpoena last year, and Fulton County ignored it. They got a judge saying that, yes, Fulton County needs to release the ballots to the state election board. And unfortunately, he also told the county how much they could charge for that. And the number that they gave was $400,000. So, making it prohibitive. So, there's a stalled investigation that there's an investigation that Fulton County had stalled and tried to stop. There's the fact that Fulton County has refused to give the Republican Party representation in their county election board by not seating the rightfully appointed Republican members, Julie Adams and Jason Frazier. Julie Adams at least gets to stay on there because she had the previous seat, and the way that it works is that you get to stay in the seat until you're replaced. So at least Julie's in there, but seems like they give her a hard time. And we have a reaction from Julie Adams.
Oh, yeah?
To this. It was posted by the Georgia GOP.
Did you send me that link on Signal?
I did. But I sent you so much that it's probably buried somewhere. But I have it.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Okay.
From Julie Adams. It's not a video.
No, it's written.
Okay.
It's a written statement that was posted by the Fulton County GOP.
Oh, I saw some Fulton. I saw I saw Georgia GOP posts last night slamming the Democrats.
Yeah.
And so I'm a recovering Republican, actually.
Because
it's fun to sit on the outside and watch the battle between the Democrats and Republicans, knowing that they're both partaking in rigging. I mean, the Georgia GOP, I was at the convention this year. Every time they want to post something about election integrity, all I can think about is how they forced us to use radio frequency controlled clickers. And half of them didn't work in the room. They did a standing vote with the lights off, and the chair of the convention thought, it was okay to just call it the way he saw it with no lights on in the room, and so we saw voting methods, even though we had paper ballots prepared for the convention. They
And I
they
trained.
wholesale rejected the paper ballots that were prepared, and the Tanya dude worked so hard to help a team of 121 people be ready to execute a hand-marked, hand-counted paper ballot voting system at the convention. They just rejected that and decided to go with these electronic radio frequency controlled clickers that have been problematic in the past as far as them working. And there's no way to tell, there's no way to audit or verify the results of the election. And they know that. And so I'm going to go out and say that, in my opinion, the GOP rigged their own convention, with a method of voting that cannot be verified. When they had a verifiable method of system present, they had voting ballot boxes, plexiglass ballot boxes to drop them into. Everything was ready to go, and they rejected that in favor of a system that could not be audited or verified or recounted. And we had to take the word of whoever the select one or two people were at some computer in the back of the stage as to what the results were. So we witnessed that, right, dude, from the Georgia GOP in their own convention.
We witnessed, yeah, and they most of the people on the floor didn't even know that there was that option ready. So that discussion, which is
the
what I was
delegation, you
looking
mean
for.
the delegation?
Yeah, the delegation. We're told that the delegates would get to decide how to vote, but they were not presented all their options.
No, and they shut down the discourse. They blocked microphones, and they shut down any ability to bring a motion to have a debate about, with the delegation, to have comments and motions made on the method of voting. They were bringing in the boxes of clickers before they even dropped the gavel on the meeting, on the business meeting. I witnessed that myself. I mean, I was kind of running around because I was also gathering up some video for Garland Favorito, and I saw the sergeant at arms guys carrying the boxes of clickers in and getting them staged and ready to hand out before they ever even gavelled the meeting into session. So it was, to me, like the whole process was rammed down our throats. And how can I trust that? So Republicans get in Georgia they get this.
Well, there's the Republicans in the House, the Republicans in the General Assembly, the people that make up the laws, are the ones that we've been knocking their doors on and sending emails. I write the petition and I see the responses from I see the numbers of everyone responding to those petitions, and it's citizens asking the legislature to make laws to secure the elections and bring in paper ballots. And in the last session, the Senate seemed to be willing to help us, and they helped push some good election bills quickly. But then the House, it died on the House. So it's been Republicans in the legislature that we've been fighting for the most part. And I felt encouraged, and I want to say that I did feel encouraged in that there are more Republicans coming along and listening and willing to put their names on these bills, and sponsoring these bills and voting for them. But for the most part, it's been the Republicans that we've been fighting. They're the Republicans that have the majority. So if they made their minds to it, they could fix this whole problem. And they haven't.
Yeah, it's as if there's a greater entity at play here that has control of how they vote, right? Who influences everything, even elections within the party of the state, right? It feels like the fix. It just the overwhelming feeling that the fix is in for whoever the selected person is going to be. Could be a Republican, could be a Democrat in our regular state election offices. Certainly, it's Republicans, I guess, maybe even in some cases, Democrats pretending to be Republicans within the
Yeah.
Republican Party. But this overwhelming feeling of now, over time of elections I participated in, it feels like it's not the people's choice. It's somebody else's choice, And that's why the upcoming primary election is almost as, I would say it's more important than the general election because, our general elections were given the final two, the two candidates who won the primary. And that's usually a plate of yuck, right?
Yeah, I mean, like we're in a red county, and so in 2024 there was a primary, and there weren't a lot of, at least there wasn't a lot of challenge. Not all the seats had a challenger. So when it came to the general election ballot, there really wasn't much to vote on. Like most of the candidates were unopposed. So you can make a bigger difference by voting good people in at the primary. Okay, you got Julie's statement ready.
Yeah, do you want me to
wanna
read
it?
this? His statement from Julie Adams. She
has a girl voice,
she's
but
a
you're better reader.
she's a dyed in the wool Republican. Okay, I'm fine with dyed in the wool Republicans, but she's also been a fighter in Fulton County for the truth. So we've kind of we peached her a couple of times on this show. She's a peach. So the DOJ wrote to Fulton County in August of last year asking for the ballots. DOJ wrote another letter in October asking again for the 2020 ballots and other records. 2 weeks ago, the FBI delivered a third letter, but the majority of the Fulton County Board of Elections literally denied these requests. The Georgia State Election Board has been trying for 4 years to get the records, including issuing a subpoena for the ballots and other records. And all of those efforts have failed. They've failed until today, which was yesterday. I applaud Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel for finally searching for and retrieving the records from the 2020 election that the U.S. Attorney General, under federal law, is entitled to receive and review. It is my hope that the FBI is in the process of getting every box of 2020 election materials in that warehouse to be able to piece together, once and for all, the truth about 2020. I am dedicated to making sure, to the best of my ability, that elections in Fulton County are accurate and trustworthy and transparent, Julie. Transparent. I'm for full frontal transparency in our elections. And in all government, to be honest with you, which makes me not a Republican or a Democrat, I guess. That disqualifies me from being in either party, because I'm for full frontal transparency across the board in government. Julie Adams, she's the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections Republican Party appointee to the Fulton County Board.
Yeah, she says, let's hope this starts a new chapter in Fulton County for transparency and accountability.
Yeah. And that's a telling graphic right there. That certainly does. We've seen the.
That graphic is bananas.
Yeah, it's bananas. But I agree with it. So maybe I can find a picture of Julie Adams. So let me.
Yeah, she's got great hair. She's one of the people that from the very start saw something wrong and jumped in. And Sally Grubbs is another. She witnessed shredding of ballots in Cobb County, and she's been active ever since. And now she sits on the state board of elections. And she had a great quote yesterday, a great reaction, that she's glad that these were the DOJ's trucks and not shredding trucks.
Here's a post from Julie Adams. So, yeah, every time I hear "Show me the ballots," I think of this movie as well. Jerry Maguire. But I'm still looking for a photo, so keep going, dude. Here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you say we show some additional reactions from officials in Fulton County while we search?
Yeah, you sent me another more. It looks like this is a news package of reactions. So let me share this tab.
Yeah.
And go to this.
These might very well mostly be bananas.
Of questions this morning after the FBI served a warrant at a Fulton County elections facility, removing thousands of ballots from the 2020 election. We're told it's part of a federal investigation. Agents were at the site for hours and left with truckloads of material. The raid was at the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center here in Union City on Campbellton Fairburn Road. So let's get out to 11 Live's Dan Kennedy. You have our coverage this morning from the streaming center. What do we know about why this happened?
Well, it really all goes back to the 2020 election. That's what the search warrant described. Our crews there, you mentioned the truckloads, Rachel. Our crews counted 3 truckloads full that the FBI left with there at the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center. We watched as the FBI searched that election office for hours. Both the FBI Director, Andrew Bailey, and the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, were there on site. Court records show this operation is related to the Justice Department's investigation into alleged voter fraud. Specifically, how ballots and records from the 2020 election were preserved and handled. The Justice Department has been suing Fulton County to obtain these records, but a judge has not yet ruled in that case. Fulton County leaders say they were already scheduled to transfer the records through the court system next month. Chairman of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners was there last night reacting to the raid.
I really wasn't surprised. I mean, we've felt all along and known all along that Fulton County, has been, a target for obvious reasons, going back to 2020 elections, 2024 elections. Our elections were open, they were fair, and every legal vote was counted, and those votes, those ballots, and everything contained in those boxes, they have been secure as long as they were in the possession of Fulton County.
Well, we also heard from the Georgia Republican Party Chairman Josh McCoon, who said that today marks a major step toward truth and accountability, saying the FBI's execution of a search warrant at the Fulton County Election Hub is long overdue. Georgians have waited years for real answers about what happened in 2020. The FBI has not released any additional details, only saying the investigation is ongoing. We do know, however, that the materials are headed to the FBI's Central Records Complex in Virginia. So what are we hearing from the other side, Rachel? I could tell you I was looking up some of the responses from folks this morning, from Democrats and Republicans. And if you have a minute, I want to start with the Democrats here. Senator John Ossoff calling President Trump a sore loser on a crusade. And then you have the Democratic Party of Georgia releasing this statement saying that every Georgian should be alarmed that Donald Trump is wielding federal law enforcement to push his baseless, dangerous lies about winning the 2020 election. And then there's State Senator Josh McLaren, who says he's worried about the chain of custody of the ballot boxes.
If they are able to modify the contents of these boxes, when I say they, I mean the Trump administration, then there's really no way of knowing what did happen in 2020.
And again, just to drive the point home, this is all about the 2020 election. President Trump spoke about it just last week at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did.
And we are also hearing from some Republicans. I have their responses pulled up here on X, including Congressman and U.S. Senate candidate Mike Collins saying, "Go get him, Cash," in reference to FBI Director Kash Patel. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, now running for governor, took it a step further, saying Fulton County elections could run a bake sale, adding that today is an important step toward accountability. So another issue with a clear line drawn between the stands. We are going to be analyzing this a little further with a defense attorney, Daryl Cohen, coming up in about 2 hours right here on 11 Alive Plus from the streaming center. So keep it with us, and we'll be giving you more analysis on this big story out of Fulton County. But now here's Chesley. Check your forecast.
And there are a lot of questions.
There we go. Yeah. So I guess a little bit more even sided news package that I'm used to seeing out of Atlanta news. A little bit.
Yeah, I think that there's pretty much a party line divide here, with the Democrat Party feeling assaulted. The Republicans, there's some that I guess are going to jump on the bandwagon, and so if it's someone running for office, check their voting record to see if they're lying to you or just jumping on the bandwagon. So, well,
Yeah, I think that's about it for the links you sent me this morning. I think.
yeah, I thought that there was one that was more of a package of short interviews and reactions. But maybe not. We did play them.
Georgia
separately.
lawmakers react to FBI raid.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that's not the one I just ran.
Maybe you did, and I'm confused. Again,
Yep,
it's
that's
a
the one I
fog.
just ran.
Yeah, but you covered Mo Ivory, the commissioner from Fulton County. You covered the other legislator that was there. And
here's okay. You sent me this one. This is coming in from Senator Tommy Tuberville. Let me
yeah,
share my screen on this.
yeah, kind of
Tommy Tuberville, Alabama senator, once was the Auburn Eagles head coach, and is known for having an undefeated season and being snubbed for being the national champion. And I forget who it was that year that they gave it to, but Auburn got left out of the debate, even though they went undefeated, won the SEC championship. Anyway, we'll throw that one in there, a little bit of sports knowledge. So yeah, Senator Tuberville. What's going on here? Here we go. All right, here we go.
It'd be nice to see Congress do something about it. What do you recommend gets done? I mean, I think that the SAVE Act is a good starting point. Where do you stand on that, Senator? Do we have any hope of getting that passed?
No, we can't get that passed because you even have some Republicans that won't vote for it. We have to get this done. We will not win any more elections in terms of majorities if we don't pass the SAVE Act, because they bring in all these illegals and they're going to try to get as many of them to vote as they can. Then they have all these voting machines that are all crooked, out of Venezuela, by the way. They have a system that they can win elections. We probably have a dozen or so people up here in the House and the Senate that were elected illegally. They shouldn't be here because things were crooked in the elections. Just look at Nevada and Arizona and all these places that it's been proven, but nobody does anything about it. But I'll go back to the money that is being stolen. If you go back to the first 6 months I was here back in 2000, the Democrats had the majority, House, Senate, and the White House, and they did this first, CARES Act. We need money for COVID, $2 trillion. Well, what'd they do with that money? They sent it to all the blue states to pay off their debts because they had stolen so much money, they could not function. And we're talking about 30-40 billion for California, 30-40 billion for New York, same thing for Chicago, the cities. I mean, it is a disaster. Folks, you are being stolen blind. Open your eyes. Don't listen to these people that want to bring this country to a communist country, because that's where we're headed. If we don't get to the bottom of this this nonsense of being able to steal something and nothing happened to them.
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah. Yeah, so he is in a position that he can be briefed to more details than what we get to know. But we do know that the voting machines coming from Venezuela have a backdoor that they can be manipulated and hacked, so that the results of an election can be changed. And we know that the password for that is hard coded, and you can buy it on a T-shirt You can jump on Amazon literally and buy t-shirts and mugs with that password, and it's not a very complicated password in itself because it starts with like the initials for the company. So it's all crazy that is to that point. Fulton County is the first place that it looks like, finally that domino fell, and we'll see the results if the ballots are complete. So we know that there's a little bit over 700 boxes of Fulton County 2020 election records, and there's no reason not to think that they got it all yesterday and have neutral, and hopefully there'll be neutral eyes looking at it. We know that, Viking dude, you can't really trust the three-letter agencies, even though President Trump has put in good people like Director Tulsi Gabbard in positions there. There's the swamp is still in there, so I'm a little bit nervous on that part. But if all the ballots are in there and we can get true totals, that'd be a big question that gets answered. And if it's not, then why isn't? why might anything be missing?
Yeah, why? If stuff has been tampered with and they've tried to they've broken the. I mean, would it be detectable that the seals were broken and then resealed? I mean, would that be something forensically would be able to determine if the seals were breached? I'm asking someone who would know if there was more crimes to cover up the crimes in the 5 years they've held these ballots. There has to be there has to be a trail of some breadcrumbs of. It looks like they got into these and I mean, I don't know how they could pull that off, but they had 5 years to do it. So
yeah, but hopefully, like with the ballots, there would be memory cards, and they can try to reconstruct the results to the best that they can. And yeah, right, we have no idea what state those ballots are in, because I can tell you how it's supposed to work, but that's not necessarily how things are done.
Well, let's see. Is it possible that is it possible that we're not having a press conference after all?
Yeah, because I think we never saw an announcement. It was a rumor that there might be one, and I think that it's possible that there could have been confusion with President Trump having a cabinet meeting going live at 10.
Okay. Do you think that the cabinet meeting is worth trying to bring it up?
We can try. Sure. There's a lot going on with the country because there's a fire in Minnesota too. So we don't know what the content is of that meeting, but we can pull it up. It's RSBN that's got it.
Well, I've got Bannon has this morning had Sally Grubbs on again. Did you want to hear what she has to say? I have no idea what she's saying here, but would you
let's bring her on? Yeah.
Here she go. Here we go.
The hard work. I don't. Caroline Jeffords, all these tough Georgians. You had every opportunity to blink, and you guys did not. You were relentless about this. It led to that. Led to the FBI raid and the getting of hopefully all the material that Cleta laid out in the document, right, in the search warrant. Sally, any update? First off, how's it feel after all those years of fighting and being mocked and ridiculed and sued and all that? How's it feel this morning?
Well, Steve, it's kind of surreal. It's like it's just a good feeling to know that the FBI was there, that they were following procedures. Apparently, even the Shay Alexander, the clerk of the Fulton Superior Court, said that they were documenting everything. I know that the Democrat narrative that came out last night was that, they didn't know, what was going to be happening, but the clerk, Shay Alexander, made it clear that everything was being properly documented. And, you know, Steve, we just want people to follow the law and obey what's been requested and comply. And, you know, none of this would have ever happened if they had complied to begin with and not been fighting every step of the way. And, you know, if you have nothing to hide, you hide nothing. And so to see people upset at this happening, it really makes you stop and wonder, okay, why are they upset? Why is, according to law, for example, I sit on the Georgia State Election Board, and one of our codified responsibilities is to investigate. And they've done everything they can to avoid an investigation. And so we wouldn't be here if people just followed the law.
Let me hang on. We're good.
Yeah, well, that's good to know that
these folks, so people can.
that Trey Alexander acknowledged.
Garland Favorito, and Sally, I'll come right back to you. This is called in narrative warfare, getting ahead of a problem. You saw last night. I'm glad my team pulled that because it was Simone over there at that show, The Weeknight, which is from their perspective a good show. They bring the heat a lot. They got ahead. They're quite worried about the 315,000 uncertified votes that Georgia told them were certified. And they say, oh, this has already been taken care of. There was a thing, and they apologize. It was a clerical error, but it didn't mean anything. And you'll know that these people are bad people if they try to make a big deal about this tabulator. Talk to me about the evidence that was picked up yesterday. Garland, if it had not been for you, I think getting a protective order on January 6th of 2021, right? We wouldn't even be here today. But you see already that the MSNBC particularly is trying to get ahead of this narrative by saying, oh yeah, but of course, they admitted to a mistake, a clerical error. 315,000 hadn't been certified, but they really hadn't. Of course, you know, Garland Favorito and these guys came in, or the state came in twice and checked it. Nothing to see here. Garland, what did we pick up yesterday? And why is they so particularly concerned about this massive uncertified group of votes, sir?
Well, Steve, there's so many things there. Just to back up, to give you a little quick history. This case all started on November 14th of 2020 when at the Fulton County hand count audit, the senior poll managers, Susie Voles, Barbara Hartman, and others found counterfeit ballots during the hand count audit. We know that these were counterfeit ballots because they were not creased from being mailed. They were written on the with toner instead of a writing instrument. And they were on the wrong paper stock and voted the same way down ballot, dozens of a row. So we filed the original case. That was myself and Caroline Jeffords and some others. That was back on December 23, 2020. And the judge, as you said, Steve, on January 7th, gave us the protective order that has been in place ever since. We went up to the Supreme Court, got in one standing, came back down. They still wouldn't show us the ballots. But there's so many things that are interesting about this narrative that you're talking about. The first narrative is, I think that we should be thinking about is, why aren't the voters entitled to see the ballots of their own election? And that is something that these crazed anti-Trump media will never address head on. Every voter in America should be able to get access to their ballots after the election is conducted. There's no reason to withhold them. There's no link between a ballot and a voter. There is virtually no excuse whatsoever for hiding those ballots. And we have gotten the ballots from other counties. Only Fulton County in the state of Georgia is resisting. And I think the reason is, to get to your point, Steve, is that they know that these ballots will not add up. We already know from the electronic records that Fulton County has certified at least 16,000 votes for which they have no ballot images. If they have no ballot images, they have no ballots. And then on top of all that, you've got, as you just said, the missing and unsigned tabulator tapes. There are probably another dozen errors and things that will come out that Fulton County has done, and in order to try to backfill the results to make the 2020 election results look legitimate.
The FBI wanted me to also remind the audience that this is a criminal investigation. They don't come down to just for a civil. And what they put that tape around yesterday, they considered that a crime scene because it was holding evidence of massive potential federal crimes. So this is as serious as we get. The media is melting down, and here's why they're melting down, folks. Three things. Number one, the 2020 election was stolen. And we're finally going to have an opportunity to rub their nose in it, okay? If it wasn't stolen, Rachel Maddow would have led the effort years ago to get these ballots out there. You know, if it wasn't stolen, they would have rubbed our nose in all of it, right? To prove that Trump and MAGA in the war room, and Garland Favorito and Sally Grubbs and Jan Johnston, Jason Frazier, everybody was a bunch of kook wingnuts. They would have rubbed your nose in it. You would have known every aspect of it. If you saw the long faces in the Georgia officials that got in there and blocked two members of the Georgia State Election Board from even walking into the thing like they were freaked out. And then you see the media overnight. It's the shock that happened when it happened and how they're like, why are people down there? Why are they even down there? And then this morning, they're tripling down. Yeah. Yes.
So I think with the music coming in there, we could get dinged for copyright.
Oh, okay.
We don't have the same deal that Bannon has going on. So anyway, he's going to a break there. Maybe I'll scrub through here and see if there's anything else they did this morning.
Yeah, because that's a great point. If the election results were right,
Ooh.
you know, it would have been so easy to just disprove it by disclosing the ballots.
This is about 26. It is about 28. Yeah, absolutely. And today, the president's going to have a cabinet meeting at 11. I'm sure he's going to have some things to say about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Cabinet
okay, so we got
meeting.
this may be like a 3-hour live here with just following along with the meetings and the media appearances by everybody the day after. So, but yeah, here's our peach, Dr. Jan. You want to hear what she has to say?
Yeah, let's
This
hear
is
Dr.
from this
Jan.
morning. What's that? Yeah, okay.
He is, I think, very focused. And MSNBC and CNN should understand. Simone is correct. This is about 26. It is about 28. Yeah, absolutely. And Minnesota is too. We're never going to ever allow you to steal the election like you did in 2020. And you're not going to use illegal alien invaders, right? And all these sham programs, refugee asylum. It's not going to happen. You know why? Because the Patriots in Georgia show you when you hunker down and do not give up and show resilience. If we don't quit, we win. What is the lesson for today, class? Let's take the number 2 pencil out and write it down. Because in Georgia, Caroline Jeffers and these heroes and patriots that had the Republican Party down there sticking the knife in them every day.
Come on!
Dr. Jan, can you give us an update, ma'am?
Yes, Steve. You're exactly right. If we don't learn what happened in 2020, we won't know how to approach or how to direct elections, future elections. So that's the lesson there. Although 2020 was a completely unexpected election outcome, it was the allegations of irregularities and inconsistencies that led to the investigations and the cases reported to us on the state election board that indeed there were violations of election law. There was double counting of votes. There was double scanning of votes. There were allegations of possible counterfeit ballots that have never really been completely investigated. So if we don't really complete the investigation and learn if and what happened in 2020, we will not know how to approach our future elections in a safe and really secure way and a trustworthy way. Very simple. So I celebrate this step that the Department of Justice took, the FBI, by obtaining the election documents. We were still trying to negotiate, but Fulton County wanted to extract over $400,000 from the state election board just to produce documents that we absolutely did not think we could trust them to produce in the first place. So I'm quite happy with yesterday's events.
I just wanted to reiterate, this is a criminal investigation. They're going to get to the bottom of this as a crime. So MSNBC and CNN suck on that. This is a crime. That was a crime scene. This is criminal evidence. This is why you had the FBI down there, all the FBI folks and pulling, the panel truck and everybody watching this and making sure everything's loaded up and then taken out. Dr. Jan, I just also want to give your eyewitness account. You're on the state election board. Sally Grubbs is on the state election board. You're officials in the election ecosystem in Georgia. When you went down there, the Democrats in Fulton County made sure that they hunkered down and were Praetorian Guard around what the FBI was doing, and I think tried to slow them down. Would they let you near anything, even to see what was going on, so you could be observers as you should have been?
Steve, we were not let in through the locked doors, although county official after a county official walked past us. And every time they would open the door, Sally Grubbs or I would introduce ourselves, and let them know that we were on the state election board and we would like to observe. And we were turned away or declined every single time. So we were basically kept outside of the warehouse area while county elected official, county Fulton Board of Elections were all allowed to go in.
Sally Grubbs, why is it the Democrats, we're now 5 or 6 years into this, why have officials in Fulton County fought you every step of the way? Why have they even yesterday not let you and Dr. Jan even near it? I think the question people have, if there's nothing to hide, if they have all the evidence and all this evidence shows that President Trump lost in Georgia, why have they fought you guys for 5 or 6 years every day to make sure that yesterday never happened, ma'am?
You know, Steve, I wish I had an answer for you. And the best answer is usually the simplest one, which is if you have nothing to hide, you hide nothing. And, it really upsets me now, particularly because I sit on the state election board, for it to be made into a partisan issue. And it was clearly made into a partisan issue yesterday when Dr. Johnston and I did exactly what she said. We would shake hands, introduce ourselves, and say we would just like to observe. After all, the state election board currently has a subpoena for the documents and contents that were taken by the FBI yesterday. We just wanted to observe, and this is about, it really and truly is a nonpartisan issue. This is about the citizens' votes. This is about the citizens of Georgia and them being able to have confidence and trust in their elections. And this is one thing I've talked about for years, is the fact that if you allow illegal voting in any county, it affects citizens in every other county, because I call it voter suppression. I believe that's true voter suppression. I know other people call it vote dilution. But when you have this occurring in Fulton County, what about the citizens in other counties around the state that don't have these issues within their election process? And then, if we sit by and we allow it to happen in Fulton County, that dilutes or suppresses the votes of other citizens. It doesn't matter how you vote. Every legal vote should count. Illegal votes should not count. It's very simple. And when they want to cover it up and obfuscate and keep us outside the doors and prevent us from watching as independent observers on the state election board, I think that speaks volumes.
Jason, let me bring you this conversation. You've been working with Garland for a while. Talk to me about the mainstream media, the left, is freaking out because they're sitting there going, oh my God, this is about 26. Trump's going to steal 26. You and Garland and your organization is an outside independent group to kind of make sure that elections are fair and square. They should be concerned. I mean, this is not simply about the 2020 election being stolen, which would be the biggest crime in American history. Let me just repeat. It would make Watergate look like nothing. It would be the biggest crime. in American history. But it's also going to inform how we go forward. Is it not, sir?
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't look at what happened in 2020, which they have not wanted us to see, you can't make any changes. You can't fix a process, whether it's, accidents did happen. Let's fix the mistakes and move forward. But they do not want us to see anything from 2020. They don't want us to see the ballots. They don't want us to see the ballot envelopes. They don't want us to see who voted. They don't want us to see the voter rolls. They don't want us to see anything. They just want to say, hey, everything was fine. Our guy won, move on. Well, you know what? We can't move on until we've seen what happened. So that doesn't continue to happen. And we've seen all kinds of issues in Fulton County on the voter rolls. That's where I have focused. We've seen vacant lots where people are registered to vote. We've seen homeless shelters where there's 2,000 people registered to vote. We've seen MARTA stations where people are currently registered to vote. And we just want clean voter rolls. We want clean elections, and whoever wins, wins. I think that's what every one of us is. That's what we're looking for.
With the evidence you've brought up of that, have they embraced anything to make changes in that to clean up the voter rolls, or have they fought you every step of the way?
They have fought me every step of the way, Steve. I mean, the first time I found a pair of duplicate registrations, same person registered twice at the same address, Fulton County told me, we don't even want to see that. That's not our responsibility. So what did I do? I put it in an email. I documented it. I made public comment, and by God, they took it. And so once they did, I've given them now 11,000 sets of duplicates just in Fulton County. These are people registered 2, 3, 4, 5 times in Fulton County. Not even counting the people that moved out of state that are registered in multiple states. I mean, this is why the DOJ needs voter rolls nationwide, so they can check to see if you moved out of Georgia, you should not be registered in Georgia anymore. But Fulton County will not take them off. And you've got to ask yourself, why would Fulton County want somebody that doesn't live in Georgia on the voter rolls? There's only one logical conclusion,
Jason,
and we need that fixed.
Exactly.
Okay,
Jason,
I'm going to
hang
pot
on
it
a
down while
second.
he's
I've got
playing
the
music
entire-
here.
absolutely.
He's getting ready to go to break because
Or let's say a
we don't have.
of this great group of
Yeah, the
people.
music license, so they can
Caroline
ding
Jenkins,
us.
all the folks.
Yeah, I don't know what to
You
do
have
here. I
shown
mean,
the
he's
nation
talking
what
to him and
resilience
stuff,
is.
and
You've
it's
shown the
good
nation what
outro
grit is.
into his
You've shown
break.
the
But
nation what perseverance is.
and little accounts like ours, they just kill us on this kind of stuff. So I'm going to pull him down, scrub forward to. I'm behind the curve on the live here, so maybe he's making this. Yeah, they're coming back. You want to stick with this, dude?
Yeah, let's come back.
Okay, so the break. Get through the break here. Okay, so here we go.
The FBI raid. There's going to be a lot more coming out. Garland, where can people? Your closing thoughts for today?
Oh,
We're obviously going to have you back
wrapping
on. Closing thoughts, what people should be thinking about, make us smarter. And then where do people go? What are your coordinates to get to you, sir?
Look at this.
Thank you, Steve. So it's first of all, it's voterga.org. And I've got to say a big shout out to Dr. Jan and Jason, though. Jason has been on this for years on the voter rolls. We know that about 20% of the voter rolls are invalid registrations. And Dr. Jan has fought this by herself on tremendous pressure for the last few years on the board. So a huge shout out to them. They haven't been quite as visible as I have, but they've worked so hard. And we are at voterga.org. I think you're going to see much more coming out. We haven't even talked about the electronics yet. The votes just do not add up there. And that's why they are so in panic mode and melting down. And again, so a lot of the information we have is at voterga.org. And we are all volunteers, Steve. And right now there's one of our generous donors is offering a 3X match for the next 2 days for any donations that come in. So thank you so much for having us.
So hold on. Where do people where do people go to donate right now? You've been at this fight a long time. You've had good support. You got three.
VoterJ on the donate tab.
Right there
just click on the donate tab.
Come on.
And it's right on top.
To the ramparts. Thank you. Thank you, Garland.
All peaches right
Jason,
there.
Jason, your thoughts, sir, as we punch out of here.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I am still glowing. I mean, that was a beautiful day. We've been fighting like hell for this. I've been trying to expose the issues on the voter rolls to show, hey, we've got a problem here, guys. And Fulton County has just fought every step of the way. I was nominated to be on the Fulton County Board of Elections in 2023. They blocked my seat for the first time in Fulton County history. And then that was backfilled by Julie Adams, who is doing an amazing job. I was nominated again in 2025, and my seat is still sitting empty today. We only have one Republican on the board at the moment, so we need to get that filled. And you can follow me on X at Jason Frazier USA. I'm going to try to keep exposing the problems, keep showing the world the issues with the voter rolls. And, one of these days I'll get on the Fulton County Board of Elections and I will be able to help from there. So thank you.
Amen. With tons of support. Dr. Jan, yesterday, historic. I also want to mention before she bounces, the Fannie Willis, they went after a bunch of these people for criminal charges. They wanted to put them in federal prison for standing up and being honest citizens. The president was going to they were going to send him to prison forever. Down there, they tried to intimidate with lawfare. Fulton County, this is how corrupt it is. Fannie Willis, that entire disgusting mess for the world to see. Business Republicans, right? You all you business guys, Kemp in that crowd. This is what you brought on yourself because you didn't stand in the breach when you should have. And you just let good old boy politics go. It's not going to work. Not in the modern world. It's not going to work. Dr. Jan Johnston, you're a hero, ma'am. Some closing thoughts here.
So, Steve, I'm a volunteer appointee to the state election board. And I think if these findings had been known at the time, there never would have been a Fannie Willis grand jury and the indictments. I think the repercussions of not allowing these investigations to occur and to be timely revealed had a profound impact on what happened in Georgia. So I look forward to anything that will improve the integrity of our elections. I think the elections, as always, as I've always said, I want elections that are fair and trusted and legal and orderly and uniform. And that has not changed from the first day that I was appointed to the board. And thank you for having us.
And where can people track you down, Mike?
I'm just on Twitter at Dr. Jan Election Advocate.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate them. All of them.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go to Vernon. You're joining us, sir. You got something, Vernon Jones. You got something to say about what's going on in Georgia, the FBI raid, sir?
Is that all we? Okay, he's
running for Secretary of State.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Steve?
Off mute, Vernon. I hear you now, sir. You got some thoughts on Georgia?
Okay, good. Listen, Steve, thank you so much. I am traveling South Georgia. I'm down here in Thomasville, a place called the Pickle Patch, a great lunch place. But listen, you've heard about this. You and I know going back 5 years ago, we were talking about election integrity. We were trying to fight what was happening, stop the steal rallies were going on. This is nothing new. When you hear Raffensperger and Gabe Sterling say these are more or less errors, these aren't errors. That's what the lawyers tell them to say. They screwed up. We always said that the elections were not free, fair, nor were they transparent. Many of us, as you know, Gabe Sterling went on and said that we were wrong. There was no election. There was no widespread fraud. Well, if there was no widespread fraud, how wide was it then? We know there were issues. We know there were problems. And I'm just so glad to see something happen finally. They need to be held accountable. That's why I'm running for Secretary of State, Steve, because, I told you a long time ago, there's a dead cat on the internet line. There's a cover-up. There's an intent not to give information, even to the federal government. Again, this is, if your house is clean, why are you worried about who's coming inside of it? And so I am glad what the FBI is doing. There needs to be more of it. And look, I've found where there were drop boxes that were not located on government property like it was supposed to be by the law. 5,000 people located at one address, 2,000 people at another address. The facility has been closed for years. There's a dead cat on the end of the line, and we are going to fix it. We're going to uncover all of this irregularity. And I'm going to tell you, Steve, it's fraud.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, finally we get an assertive
of
comment out of
where do people go to find out more
Vernon.
about your campaign?
So yeah,
you met
because he's usually pretty innocuous with his verbiage. So
yeah, I was just gonna say that you met him at a place on a date. that may or may not have been January 6th. And,
well, yeah. I
as-
can,
yeah.
if you give me a second here and you talk for a second, I could probably scoop
Yeah,
that
but
in here.
yeah, there's something that Sally said, like, I'm not sure if excluding her and Dr. Jan from observing might have necessarily been partisan, because in their interview yesterday with Bannon, they said that Sarah Gasol, who is the Democrat member of the state election board, she tried to go observe too, and she was not allowed in. So it seemed to be more of the county. In that instance, the county protected itself. And we don't know if the Republican member, any of the Republican members of the Fulton County Commissioners were there and try to go in, and I haven't seen anything either way about their being there. I guess if Bridget was there, we would know. But yeah, like, I can't help thinking of the lives that were changed, like Kathy Latham, that she was run out from her home. Basically, she had to move to Texas because of her investigating her role in getting the Coffee County voting system investigating after it failed to count the election ballots accurately. She was made out to be a criminal by Bonnie Willis and another organization, the Coalition for Good Governance, run by Marilyn Marks. They accused her of a breach, and they started this narrative of calling the investigation into Coffee County a breach, and try to discredit her. And she has not had it easy in Texas by all means, and she was unable to get a job because she had a felony showing up on her record. And thank goodness that's finally clear, and her name is clear, and she is free of that. But Rudy Giuliani, who was a victim of lawfare and was made to pay this, I don't know how many millions it was, to Ruby for her role in Fulton County and his speaking out about what everyone saw her do on tape. And so
unfortunately, I don't have the hard drive loaded that has the shot you were talking about. Yeah, I've run into Vernon Jones a couple of times. So yeah, at the Stop the Steal protests in downtown, at the Golden Dome in downtown Atlanta. Yeah, I ran into him, asked him to get a selfie. And it was a GoPro camera. I said it's video, so you can wave or do whatever. He gave me like a soundbite in selfie. I wish I had that hard drive loaded, but I don't. He gave me a soundbite with me standing there like next to him doing a selfie. I wasn't expecting it. And yeah, he's a good guy, but he is a politician and he plays his cards close. Yeah. So that's why I was saying, I mean, you rarely get, he said at the end there, it was fraud. You rarely get an assertive comment like that out of Vernon, but I was glad to see that today.
Yeah, I guess politicians try to not be controversial, except for when it's safe to be controversial. And that may be the case. But at least, yeah, I guess in his case, that he was present in Atlanta at the Stop the Steal rally, and he was present in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. At least he put his presence. Although who knows?
I'm trying to scroll through and see if I can locate it up on my Vimeo site here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm a little distracted here, dude.
Okay, so while you're looking, I guess I'll recap that.
Yeah, here, let me
It's
just let me throw
it's
this
a
up here.
big
Throw that up.
deal. Cool, thank you. It's a big deal that finally the ballots are not under the control of Fulton County anymore, so that that election can be recreated and they can, well, not the election, but the tabulation can be recreated, and we can see what totals we get from the actual ballots that they have, because the records from the election night, a lot of them were overwritten, so there are no ballot images from election night. There are ballot images, and those are the receipts of the ballots as they're entered into the machine, from the machine recount that President Trump requested, because it's and so there's that, and I've been part of the team doing that analysis, and a lot of that was everybody's heard from by David Cross and Joe Rossi, that they're the spokesmen, and of course Garland, of all those findings. And there's so what we do know is that from the audit, there's 16,000 votes that there's no provenance of. We have no idea where those come from, because in the audit of the audit, we fell in short. And there's a letter from Fulton County admitting that they inserted a little bit over 6,000 ballots into the audit. So yeah, it's it's kind of, I can't wait. Viking dude. I want to know what those numbers are.
Yep, I'm just throwing up some images we made in for past episodes of Peaches and Bananas, where we've identified our peach of the week, and all three that I just showed there was Dr. Jan and Garland and Jason Frazier, all down there yesterday, all doing camera shots, putting their mugs on the international stage. Which is a bold thing. Most people don't have that in their makeup, but those guys all do, and we applaud them for that, right?
Yeah, and I want to say hi to a good friend, Christina, who is saying hi to us in the chat there. Hi, Christina. Christina is one of the amazing Georgia peaches too, because I mean, this girl is an advocate. Like, it's like, if you don't know how to be an advocate, you don't know how to start. You just talk to Christina, because she moves. I'm like, she's emailing people. I mean, she has no fear in contacting legislators and giving them a call. And before she knows it, I mean, like, I've had like the pleasure of having calls with her on the phone where she's like, "You can't believe who I got to talk to and what happened." And so, like, the interactions that she's gotten to have with politicians, and she's just just really cool. I think regular citizen that stands for something, and she speaks out and got involved and spreads the word. And anytime that there's that we have a petition, she's like, "Let me know and I'll spread it everywhere." And I know that she will, because she's got a mailing list and she's on Facebook. And
yeah, she you and her both are dream teamers, right? Dream teamers.
Yeah, we're part of the team that gets to wish that we were dreaming on Saturday morning.
Yeah, so one of the things that Peaches and Bananas is able to do is sometimes bring some breaking news that hasn't been put out in the general public yet, because Tanya is an integral, as well as Christina, are integral, participants in the Voter GA Zoom calls that happen every Saturday morning, and they've been doing it for many, many years now. Every Saturday, faithfully, religiously, giving up 2.5 to 3 hours of their Saturday mornings to participate and even conduct and help produce the content of that call for Garland and Ricardo and Tamara. So they're in the background, they're in the backdrop, but they're very just key to being part of that operation there at Voter GA. It's quite a unique organization. I mean, Garland popped his website. We'd encourage everybody to go to that website, and check out the evidence that is organized and categorized for you if you have time to sift through it. Or you can just wait for Garland to summarize it for you in a press conference, or join the Voter GA Zoom call.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the dream team is something that I'm recruiting for, because I would like to allow the team to be able to sleep in when they want to, and just kind of relax when they watch the call on Saturday morning, so that the more people that we have, we can rotate. And the dream team's job, and it's something that Christina does really well, is help answer questions in the chat. And if there's something that they don't know the answer of, let me know, so that I can either answer it or make sure that it gets the attention that it needs, and just be a digital usher and let everybody else in the call. And it's a really simple job. And if you can spare your Saturday mornings, the more of us there is, the more I can allow the team to rotate and take Saturdays off. It is an easy job. Just contact me, and my easiest email address is support@voterga.org, and I'll take volunteers.
Yes. And, Tanya's so humble about her role in things, but she really is important. She's doing yeoman's work down there in Puerto Rico right now. Sometimes she's up here in Georgia, but I set this up for Tanya. If you have it in your heart to go and help her out, every little bit helps her and her mother. It's givesendgo.com/Tanya needs our help. So, and Christina, thank you. We've seen how you've helped Tanya, and it brings a tear to my eye, and it blesses us in a way that you probably can't imagine how much that blesses us. So thank you to Christina. But yeah, Tanya and her mother, man, they live in hardship, constant hardship. So, Peaches and Bananas, we're hoping that it will grow and take off, and will be something maybe that can be a source of revenue someday. It's not right now. We don't have any sponsors, but we are able to get on here and opine for things like this. And also, as Tanya says, I mean, reach out to her. She's work for hire. She's very talented. She's talented across a number of a number of areas in the spectrum of creativity and research, and is a diligent trooper. Working all hours of the night in some cases to help do paralegal level. I would say paralegal level, maybe not quite there, but on that level of research for important cases. Not going to say who she's worked for in the past, but she's worked on some pretty important stuff, and she's considered a go-to for that type of work. As well, she's very talented in graphic design. Oh boy, here we go, Jaxie. So, consider doing something to help Tanya. You can either donate to her to the Give Send Go, or just give her a call and say, hey, I've got a bunch of work and I'm trying to find somebody to help me get it done. And what's your rate? And you can negotiate a rate with Tanya. And she's not shy of doing work. She does some work for my company. And my company, and so she's helping me rebrand my company now to Storytell.media. I come out of the broadcast world. I've got 35 years of experience in broadcast television, but it's starting to migrate towards just pure storytelling. I mean, not like lies, but like telling people stories, telling the story of your business, of your company, of your successes, of your failures. And helping people market themselves and get their messaging. Jaxie! Oh boy.
Yeah. And Viking Dude makes things look great. That was my first impression. So he does all sorts of videos. So from the first thing that I saw from him was a documentary that he made, and it was something that I would I would have thought it boring. My exposure to similar kind of content is really dry. And I was like, wow, he made it funny. He made it entertaining. And that's why I told him, you are a great storyteller. And those awards that you see behind him right there in his shot are real Emmys that he's won. So he worked in sports, broadcasting sports, and coming up with logos and animations and commercials. And so, anything that a company needs, from the outward marketing to the internal, something else that he's done that I'm like, okay, this is amazing, because he did a training video for a company. And so making it not boring is fantastic, because I've been on the other side of training, of having to take a training video from a company, and it's usually the cure for insomnia. But like in this case, it looks great, it sounds great, it's entertaining, so that people will pay attention to what it's to the actual material. But then.
So we were going to maybe, I'd just throw that up there. That's go ahead. You can go ahead and talk to that slide, dude. I wonder if there's going to be anything from Trump's cabinet meeting. Is it a cabinet meeting, I guess? Right.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And
President
it was
Trump's
live.
cabinet.
Yeah. And yeah, so something that would really help both of us is to spread the word of our show. I am, unlike Viking Dude, I'm not a great storyteller. I'm trying to get better at it. So that's part of what this effort is, in bringing you the story of stolen elections. And hopefully we'll have a really happy conclusion to the 2020 Fulton County results coming soon. But you can watch, follow us on X, Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. I need your likes. I need your shares. We can't go live on Facebook yet because I need 100 followers to be able to do that. So please help spread the word. We're on the @MAGAstruck account.
So there is a little bit here at the end of Bannon's show where they took live from the president. Do we want to go to those for a minute? And
Yeah,
before we
let's
wrap
check
it
it
up.
out. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Tremendous progress has been made. I want to thank my entire cabinet for 12 months of unprecedented achievements. We really have. I mean, it's unprecedented. The numbers we've had on the economy and growth, you see them. And that's despite a Democrat shutdown. Without the shutdown, we would have picked up about 1.5 points more than already high numbers, record-setting numbers. So this has been, I think, and a lot of people say it, the most successful year of any administration in American history. First year, there's never been a first year like this, including the fact that we extinguished 8 wars, and another one we think is coming. Steve Witkoff's working very hard, and Jared and everybody else, and I think it's coming. It was just announced that the murder rate in our country is the biggest drop ever recorded. It's at the lowest level in 125 years. First in recorded history, it's the lowest in at least 125 years. It's a wonderful thing. And that crime is way down, and one of the reasons is we've taken a lot of bad people and gotten them out of our country. In some cases, they're so bad that we put them in prison because we don't want them to even take a chance of coming back in, even though our border is very secure, record-setting secure. We had 0 illegal aliens being admitted into our country for the last 8 months. That's hard for even me to believe, but the people that make up the lists are supposedly nonpartisan, but I would say they lean toward the Democrat side. And if they say that, I'm all for it. As you know, we've had a situation take place with respect to Venezuela. I want to just thank General Kane and his staff for the job that they've done is incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And once it did take place, I want to thank the leadership of Venezuela. We're getting along really well with them. The relationships have been very strong, very good. And they have informed me that they feel there's very good security, very strong security. We're working with the various people involved, including Chris and Doug and everybody on the oil. We have the major oil companies going to Venezuela now, scouting it out and picking their locations, and they'll be bringing back tremendous wealth for Venezuela and for the United States, and the oil companies will do fine too. Venezuela will actually make for themselves more money than they've ever made before, and that's a good thing. And the people of Venezuela were literally in the streets waving American flags. They were so happy. And the people in our country, like in the Doral section of Miami, which is considered little Venezuela, they're thrilled. And I just spoke to the president of Venezuela, informed her that we're going to be opening up all commercial airspace over Venezuela. American citizens will be very shortly able to go to Venezuela, and they'll be safe there. They'll be safe. It's under very strong control. And the people of formerly of Venezuela, some want to go back and some want to go back to visit, and they're going to be able to do that. So I've instructed Sean Duffy and everybody else concerned, including the military, that if you would, by the end of today, I'd like you to have the airspace over Venezuela. Planes can go to Venezuela opened up. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank all of the people in Venezuela for what they went through, and I want to thank the leadership for really they're doing a good job. And just as I promised, we've defeated the Biden inflation nightmare and achieved explosive new economic growth. The Atlanta Fed is predicting an astounding 5.4% GDP growth in the fourth quarter, and that's despite the fact that we had a Democrat shutdown. We would have had that number would have been 7%, which is a number nobody's ever heard of. And we've been given great national security because of tariffs, and we've also been given unprecedented income because of tariffs. Part of the income that we gave, $12 billion, we gave to the farmers of our country, so that yesterday I was up in Iowa, and they were very happy, Madam Secretary.
Yes, sir.
They were very, very happy. They were great. So the GDP growth in the fourth quarter was great, and it's going to be. I think we're going to have an amazing.
Well, he's not really hitting on
hopefully
what we
won't
are about here.
We're working on that right now. I think we're getting close.
Yeah, I'm like, are you going to talk about Fulton County, Mr.
So
President?
we'll work in a very bipartisan way. I believe not to have a shutdown. We don't want a shutdown.
I did find where I had that video
posted.
I did find where I had that video posted. So I don't know. This is getting. He's getting into State of the Union kind of stuff here.
The Dow had hit a record high, but the 7,000
Yeah,
was
well,
not a
I
number
can-
that was even thinkable.
Do you want me to
if you go
jump forward
back
a little
year
bit?
ago.
Yeah, jump forward a little bit, and I can do a scan
So
of
S&P
the video later
401ks
and
Scott,
bring
in
it to
a period of 4
everyone. If you
years,
talked
and we've
about
done
elections
$18 trillion in
and
less
Fulton
than 1
County.
year. So There's never ever seen stagflation cause little income and one major specifically if you look at oil and gas register. They said they wanted to.
I think the reporters might ask him some questions.
Millions of version of the New Deal right behind you is a nice picture of FDR. This is a much better deal than the FDR deal. But we have the great big beautiful bill, and it's given tremendous tax cuts and a lot of other things. People are now finding out how good it is, and it's just kicked in as of January 1st, by the largest tax hike in history. We're giving you the largest tax cut in history in the great big beautiful bill. In addition, I think it's very good. I think it's very important. You have that you spoke years ago, and then I said, "Did you ever think I spoke with Bill Ford and the president of Ford, Germany, all over Europe? It's America produced more than everybody."
Okay, maybe he'll get some
That one
questions.
for myself. No, but think of it. First time, and that's just the beginning. There are a lot of steel plants right now being built. Depends on the way you want to calculate it, right? Coming down back to the people instead of giving the insurance companies some money.
Well, we're almost caught up to live
healthcare savings
real
account or
time
whatever
here,
it
so
is,
I don't know how long we want to stay with this.
Think of it. We pay the
Yeah.
money, billions
Yeah, I
and
think
billions, really
Mike
trillions.
can
One
do
of
the-
the stories
I'll
about
check it
the
out
insurance companies, how much money they're making.
and
where
clip
they
out
receive,
any segments that's
billions and billions of
interesting to
dollars
our to election.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
of interest.
I hate to
Yeah.
cut the president off. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm CNN or Fox cutting off what they don't want to hear. We do want to hear it, Mr. President, but we don't want to, I guess, clutter up what this show is about. So maybe there'll be some questions from the press towards him that we can get later.
Yeah.
I did want to show this. So we teased this a little bit earlier, and oh boy. Okay, here it is. Here we go. Let me.
Mr. Jones.
Mover shot.
Yo, that's Vernon Jones out here with the people. He's come right out here with the folks, man. That is a solid dude right there. Solid.
They know what's going on. They've never seen this before. Yes, sir. We're taking our country back.
Yes, sir.
We're taking our country back. So
Yeah.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. Run for governor. I'll get all my friends to vote for you.
He's in DeKalb County, I believe, in Georgia. Please keep the faith, sir. Vernon Jones.
That was a flashbang. Tear gas. So just yeah, Vernon. Yeah, one of a few out there masking, I should say. Yeah, you see a couple of masks here and there, but I tell you, by the time that tear gas started to waft out there into the crowd, we were all talking like, "Man, I wish I had a mask." You know, it was like, and it wasn't because of COVID, even though most everybody got COVID at this super spreader event here. He's one of the few wearing a mask, but by the time that tear gas was getting into our eyes and our face, I mean, even out there in the field, I mean, it was getting into everybody's face and just making water in your eyes and making your nose run, and we were like, man, the smart people probably the ones who brought masks. So anyway. All right. Well, that's all I've got. So do you want to wrap it up here, dude? We're about 2 hours in. Is there anything else?
Yeah, well, I want to thank everybody that joined, and yeah, this was an impromptu because we impromptu live that we did because we heard
Do you hear the
rumors.
president talking when I play this in another tab?
I don't hear it. Yeah, we heard rumors of a press conference, so we wanted to do a watch party, and I don't think that it happened. So I think that it might have been confusion with the president's cabinet meeting. So I'll check out the cabinet meeting, make some clips of anything having to do with our elections, and bring it to you next time. Please follow us.
Just real quick, I mean, have we seen any video or any images of the ballot transportation overnight? Did anyone tell them? Did anyone try to, phone ahead to their photogs en route to Virginia to make sure that caravan is moving and hasn't stopped and at a Stuckey's or at a Bucky's? How about a Bucky's for some brisket, and while they maybe pack brisket into the boxes and remove the ballots. I mean that at this point it's like it's hard to believe that the ballots are going someplace secure where they will finally be open.
Yeah. How long is the drive to Virginia?
Oh, it's from Atlanta. It's about 9.5, 10 hours.
Okay.
So, they should have, if they drove overnight, hopefully they didn't stop and get a Motel 6. I mean, I'm nervous about the transportation. I feel like they should have flew in some C-130s and airlifted them out of there. But
yeah, maybe they did had air support, that there was a helicopter or something trailing them. But I think nobody that I know thought of it. We didn't know. I mean, we knew when it was broken on, the news was broken on Fox News, and then everybody started asking everybody, have you seen this? My phone was blowing up. Does Garland know? I'm trying to get a hold of Garland, and I can't get through to him. And I'm like, I have a guess why, because everybody's texting and calling, and and it's awesome that Jason Frazier jumped in his car and got over there, and Sally did the same thing and picked up. Yeah, so
I'm surprised Jason didn't trail the caravan all the way to Virginia.
Well, Jason was there the whole time, so I'm kind of glad that he didn't, because he was the first, I think, to show up, and he was there till they left. So I want Jason around and safe and not falling asleep behind the wheel. Although I think the adrenaline would have kept anybody going.
Yeah, I mean, ballot chasers, right? I mean, you got tornado chasers. You needed ballot chasers last night.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if there's any video or any coverage of the ballots arriving in Virginia.
Yeah, I guess that's part of what I was thinking. A press conference this morning would have made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
all right,
we'll
dude. Well, you ready to wrap it?
Ready to roll.
I'm going to wrap it with, we're going to end the stream. Thank you for joining us. Again, go out there and give us a like, share, and a follow on X and Rumble and YouTube. We need to get our views and followers up, and we can't really do much as far as like getting monetized. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we need to do. Maybe get some sponsorship, read some ad reads on air. There's things that we hope to do, but it's hard to do any of those things without eyeballs. So if you're one of our early adopter eyeballs, thank you, and please help get get what we're doing here out. Help us by likes and shares and follows, and we're trying to approach this a little bit differently. We're not really going for the same audience. We're trying to expand the awareness into groups that aren't paying much attention. We're trying to do something kind of entertaining and a little bit edgy. So it's not your typical, like a voter GA Zoom call, or it's not like a typical, Lindell TV type of, news show or Brannon House or something like that. We're trying to do a little bit more of a laid back kind of a podcast and have fun, throw some sound effects, and right, dude.
Yeah, and keep it so that all your friends that haven't been following elections can sort of jump on board, and you can find out what's going on. And if you're new, though, I want to say check out the channel, because there's some great music in there. There's a great music video that Viking dude and I Viking Dude, we rewrote the lyrics to Thunderstruck, and it's a Magastruck song. And Viking Dude edited that together, and he sang it, and it's awesome. And there's the original song, Set Her Free. My favorite is still the original, but there's the acoustic version that is Viking Dude's favorite. So you can check them both out and let us know which one you like more.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. Almost failed to. Let's throw this up real quick. We, never have a podcast or a social media day of posting without mentioning Tina Peters. She still sits in jail. The irony is that she's in jail for 9 years as a 70-year-old woman who did the right thing. We believe she did the right thing on behalf of her country. Whereas Ruby Freeman and who's the other woman? Shay Moss, was that the
Shay Moss, her daughter?
Yeah, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, her daughter, are wearing the bling from Joe Biden, blinging them out with. I thought it was a presidential Medal of Freedom, but in addition to that, just raked millions and millions and millions of dollars on their GoFundMe account. So it's just a stark contrast between, just injustice there. If this plays out, we're going to be looking at this situation here. It's like here's Tina exposing. I mean, really, like the song says, she opened up the black box and revealed the mystery, right? So she did that, and that benefited the entire nation. And she's suffering the consequences and the persecution from the tyrannical power despots that are in power, whereas Ruby and Shay are blinged with
living it up, yeah,
blinging it up, and millions of dollars in their bank accounts and living high off the hog. And it just ain't right, y'all. It ain't right. So anyway, there you go. Free Tina. All right. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right. Thank you all for joining us.
In this world where attention is hard won, Storytel.media turns your vision into visuals and sounds that grab hold of people. I'm Ty Tauris, and I'm a hands-on AV nerd with 35 years in broadcast production. I personally run camera, sound, lighting, edit content, design graphics, and arrange music. My knack for rhythm fueling razor-sharp edits. Leading a tight-knit team, we deliver stunning visuals and powerful messaging. While I've been honored with Emmy, Telly, and Promax awards, I really focus on your trust first and foremost. For leading companies, including industrial manufacturing clients, we bring trust and discretion and relaxed environments where your executives will shine naturally. We execute your vision with precision, making your story unforgettable. Discover our story at Storytel.media and let's make your story shine.